standing right near the red carpet, and the man of the hour is here. Is coming right now. A very special guest, Lloyd Kaufman.
Hey, star. I'm seeing a movie star. How you doing? Yeah. Movie star. Wow. With the red carpet. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
We'll see you inside.
Hi, Dwayne.
Good to see you again.
Sure. I'm going to go in because we have the panel coming up.
All right, I'm going to take a break.
I'll bring one more stool out. Alright, so we're going to have you guys share the mics and talk about whatever these guys want to talk about, the moderators. So here we go.
Welcome to the Tromadance of 2017. It's the 18th year that we've had Tromadance. Totally free. You can submit the movies for free. You can watch the movies for free. And no VIP policy. There's a party. Whoever comes first gets in. No Justin Bieber red carpet. No, this is art for the people. Give art back to the people. That's what we're saying today.
That's right.
Now, we've got a very, very, very distinguished panel, but we're dedicating this panel to the memory of Liu Xiaobo, who was a Nobel Peace Prize winner. The Chinese government, the genocidal, corrupt Chinese government, in essence, killed him in jail, allowed him to die of liver cancer, Nobel Prize winner. I don't think Trump would even do that. So this is being dedicated to, this session is being dedicated to the memory of this great patriot of liberty. Liberty and the pursuit of happiness. That's what leads to prosperity. Liberty is what leads to prosperity. If the Chinese want prosperity, they need liberty, and they don't have it. Now, could each of us, now that I've set it up with great jokes, so if each of our distinguished panelists could say a few words about what they're working on now, who they are, and keep it to about 2 minutes, that would be sensational. Mr. Brian Johnson.
Now I don't know what to say because you totally stole what I was going to open. Brian Johnson, I'm on the AMC show Comic Book Man. You may know it as the show that comes on after The Walking Dead, then The Talking Dead, then The Walking Dead again. And then we come on, technically Monday morning, I guess. And I do a podcast with my friend Walt, who's also on Comic Book Man, and Brian Quinn, who's on a show you may have heard of, The Practical Jokers. And that's it. That's all I do.
Nice.
My name's Sam Roberts. I host a show on SiriusXM, aptly titled Jim Norton and Sam Roberts with Jim Norton. I also host and created Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast, which comes out on all the podcast platforms. And I do pre-shows for WWE, as well as sometimes doing panels at Tromadance.
Hi, I'm Susan Lieber. I produce and line produce indie films. Been doing this for a while in New York, and worked on movies like Obvious Child. I produced Ty West's first film, The Roost, and most recently, now on digital and VOD, is the Transfiguration horror movie by Michael Sheen.
And Google has a very important, almost starring part in Transfiguration.
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hello, I'm Lizbeth Kaufman. I am founder and CEO of Kit Split. We are building a community of filmmakers and videographers who are renting gear to and from each other. So we've been called the Airbnb of cameras. And we're enabling people like all the filmmakers here and you guys to make your own damn movie and get gear cheaper and easier. In addition to that, I'm also the proud daughter of Lloyd and Pat Carter. brother, the Toxic Avenger. It's obvious, yes. But I'm very honored to be here today. Thank you.
My name is Angelo Moore.
Yeah,
This is my soldier #1 frontman, Dr. Mad Vibe.
yeah.
And I collaborated with Jeff Opliskin and my man here, Chris Ken, in collaboration with Raised Fist Propaganda. So we did a short movie called Optimistic Yes. And we decided to access all of the energy of the zombie, was it the zombie run? Zombie March, probably the Zombie Crawl, probably like 5 years ago now. And so we made a really badass short movie about optimism. And we're going to show it this evening. I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to be a part of it. And we're going to encourage you to make your own movies as well, and your own music, and get your own bands, and make your own companies, because unfortunately with this administration, that's what we're going to have to start doing. So as they take it away, we're going to have to start making it ourselves homegrown.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Chris Kent. I think I got a pretty good introduction from filmmaker from Brooklyn, writer, director, editor, jerk of all trades. I don't know where else to take that. Long time fan of all things Troma, ever since, I don't know, as long as I can remember. So I'm just stoked to be here, happy in front of everybody. Cheers.
I forgot to mention one last name, Doug Sackman. He'll be here soon. He was a big part in helping me manifest this short film you'll be seeing here this evening.
And you've got several people that worked, at least one person that worked on the film here, so in the audience, right? Your art director or your makeup?
And my art director, no, actually the makeup director is here, Michelle Harper.
Give us a shout out.
She's somewhere out here. You know, I'm making my film, all the characters in my film. I played all the orchestra, a whole 15-piece orchestra. I played all the characters, all the music, all the instrument. He put together the green screen. It was all done off of love and a self-budget. So there you go.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so I think one of you're also diverse and so different and all that, but the thing that you all have in common is that you're all really independent, and you really are making your way in this world as independent spirits. So when I think back that when Lloyd started Troma all those many years ago, it was a really different media environment, and it really was possible to start your own damn movie studio, which is what Lloyd did. He started Troma. But now the whole network of distribution of media, whether it be radio or movies or whatever it might, or even equipment, is pretty much in the hands of a small number of international conglomerates. So, and yet there you all are. You all seem to represent really independent spirits. So the question to each of you is, how do you both make independent art that comes from the heart, and how do you make a living doing it? So how do you do it? How do you remain independent in this world of very big consolidated media? Independent in spirit. Do you want to start?
Sure. So the question is, how do you remain independent?
In a world where it's all consolidated.
Right.
And not controlled by those who consolidate.
It's very cliche, but it's hard for me to speak like working for AMC, which is a pretty big company.
And you do represent a very independent point of view.
Right. Well, my friend Kevin Smith, you may have heard of him.
Yeah.
Started USU back in the 90s after he made his movie Clerks. Very indie movie that did well and launched his career. And he is a guy who, like the town we come from is a very like, I don't want to portray it like we live in like some industrial town where like, you graduate high school, you go right to the factory. But it's a lot of like contractors and stuff like that. And we grew up through the 70s into the 80s. Not in a million years did anyone say like, hey, why don't you make a movie? Why don't you, it just seems so far removed from your reality. Even watching movies as a teenager by this guy, like watching Toxic Avenger, I was like, what a great movie, but it never went beyond that to like, I should do that. Because I didn't have whatever that was until my friend Kevin was like, oh, you should do this. And in the late 90s, I made a movie, indie movie called Vulgar, which the Lionsgate picked up, did all right. And then for a long time, I didn't do anything. But then I was living in LA for a while, and if you've ever lived in LA, it sucks. It's terrible. I lived in Hollywood, and it was awful.
You still live in
And
LA.
as the New York Film Commissioner, former, I say, yeah.
So I came back, and I wasn't exactly sure what to do, and this was almost 8 years ago now, and Kevin was like, well, we should do a podcast with Walt, the other guy on the show, and I was like, I don't know, because we were Kevin's friends. And people would be right to be like, well, now I'm going to listen to you, now I'm going to listen to your friends. But what it took was getting over that and sort of like winning people over. And really what I think it comes down to is like, just do it because you like it. And then eventually things will fall into place. At least that's the way we approached it. And we've kept that, that's the good thing. Like AMC, I can't say anything I want. I get edited a lot, like way more than you think.
I want those outtakes.
Me too. But with Television TV, the podcast that we do, we can say anything we want, and you then take responsibility for what you said, So I think it's really a matter of just remaining true to what you want to do, and if you're not concerned with being really rich, you can do it. Like for us, it took years and years and years, but we do live shows and we sell merchandise and we do special projects, and whether or not you can earn a living from that depends on your standard of living, I suppose.
One of the big bosses of programming at SiriusXM, and we were talking about some of the shows, and he was like, yeah, and he was just talking about some of the choices they were making, and he was like, because the way our company's designed, it's not really a place where somebody without a brand just comes in and can grow their own thing. And then he looked up, and I looked back at him, and he kind of realized that right under his nose that happened. It wasn't supposed to happen, and it's not designed for that to happen. But I think that what I've learned in the last 10 years is that these companies will exist and will continue to exist, and there'll be fewer and fewer of them, and they will continue to grow and have more and more power. And one of the best things that I've been able to do is to figure out what they have to offer me and what I have to offer them. And in my head, I treat it like it's that kind of a relationship. Look, they're the ones that are going to expose me to this big audience. So how do I work within this system, because they're big and powerful enough that you're not going to beat it, within this system to get myself through there? And it's really tough, and it takes a long time, and it's a lot more difficult to do it that way than just to be like, okay, take one of these companies and just create me into your creation. Just make me one of these people that you push forward, because people do get pushed forward. Roman Reigns? What did you say? Roman But you see them, right? You see people that get created by a company, and they might have a big wave of success for a second, but it's not real success. It's just let's push this person down your throat, down your throat, down your throat. And it's that in any medium, but it's not long lasting. It's not one of those things that 10 years from now you look at them and you're like, wait, how did you not only manage to survive, but prosper? And I think that's probably the best use that these companies can have, that they're so big that you can let their neglect become your ally, which is a quote from the Count of Monte Cristo. And you can grow within the company to your own means without them ever realizing you're doing it until it's too late. And they've got you.
That's great. So the both of you have managed to do that. Okay. Susan.
Well, I guess in producing movies or making stuff, when I start out on all these things, I don't really work within a studio system. Everything that I do, whether it's a micro budget or even a $5, $6, or $7 million movie, is still done independently, whatever that means. But I think it's hard coming up with trying to make content. You have so many creative people who are trying to get their projects made out there, and I think we're living in a really great time for being able to do things, low budget, a lot of inexpensive ways to shoot. Finding a community, finding people to work with, I think is one of the hugest things, which you're helping with very much. And bringing those people together so you have the collaborators who can come together and make good product, because I think that's what so much of this is about. I've been, struggling and making, low budget films. I think my first movie I made was back in like '99 as a producer, and we made it for like $30,000 to get it in the can back on film, back in the old days of film. And it cost more to get it out there, but we went to festivals and gotten out in the world, but getting it seen, I think, is an incredibly hard thing that we're doing now. We can all, I think, work to produce things and to make, coming up with budget ideas that are relatively low budget, relatively doable at a smaller level, so you can work independently, so you don't need a studio to come in and hand you $5 million or $20 million, and you don't need a big star to make it happen, because on the movies that I work with on, even at a $3 or $5 million level, you're like, well, what's your actor? And they do care about that more than anything in the world. So if you want to work small, it's coming up like, how do I do this at a low budget? How do I do this in a way that makes sense, but how to still make something good and taking the time and energy to plan that. But then I think the stage of getting it out there in the world, whether that's through festivals or through digital realm or web series, I think that's the tougher battle in the world, is how do you get it seen? It's something, we've every time I finish a movie, we face that. What's going to happen with it? And sad that the goal is often, will the big studio buy it and make it get out there and get me the most attention I can possibly get? Because they have the marketing arms to do that. And you want that on some level, but it's also, this sort of beast you don't want. And, it's a constant, continual fight to try to get your project seen.
And by the way, she's had such success. I mean, this woman has had films at South by Southwest, she's had films at Tribeca, and she's had films I used to say raising money was the toughest thing, but I think you closed, your final comment there was, but then getting it seen is the toughest thing now. There's so many things being made. How in God's name do you get attention for your project? Elizabeth, how have you survived?
Well, I was just thinking, my take is that we live in kind of an interesting time where you guys were hinting at this era of media consolidation with these large companies that have a stranglehold on the eyeballs out there. But on the other hand, there are so many resources that allow people to, if they've got an idea, follow their dream and their passion and make a film and get it out there. From like Kickstarter or Indiegogo or Seed and Spark, which you've used, to like companies like my company, KidSplit, which will help you get the gear. And then just the fact that we currently live in a world of an open internet and net neutrality, where we can get something out, put it on YouTube or put it on whatever platform, and you can have it seen. So the current state does allow you to get things out and remain independent if you want. But it's sort of part of the reason we do need to fight for net neutrality, to ensure that the internet remains open, and so that people can start companies and put movies out and get them seen. It's going to, as hard as it is now, as you were saying, Susan, it's going to get a lot harder if we don't have the open internet.
Well, actually, let me just jump right in here, because that net neutrality thing is huge. Like, you guys started with podcasts, and your podcast depended on there being an open and neutral internet, right? And man, that goes away the minute net neutrality goes away. So Elizabeth has touched on really a critical topic. But let me just, one more thing about KidSplit. So KidSplit helps a film because you get to do, do you save money? Do you get insurance? What is it that KidSplit actually provides?
Oh, great, thank you for that question. So, let me tell you guys. So we've been called the Airbnb of cameras because we're a community of people who list their personal gear, people and companies that list the gear they own on KidSplit. And then anyone, like you guys, can rent that gear directly from other filmmakers. So often the pricing is amazing, you can get really great deals, and when you're renting that gear, you're supporting other filmmakers, and you're enabling them to earn extra income, so they can then put that money into their next project, or buy more gear, or do whatever it is they want to do. So making it,
The very difficult insurance nut.
yes, and we make it very easy to purchase insurance. So if you don't have expensive production insurance, you can get it right on KidSplit when you're making your rental, and it's just like one click, super fast. We also have delivery, so we can just have it delivered straight to your chute.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Angela, what's with you?
Angelo.
Sorry.
It's all right. So,
I like you by any name.
well, thanks. So, okay, so thank God for the underground. Thank God for the underground. Because it's a lot of corporations that are a part of the popular majority that don't give a damn about alternative perspectives or lifestyles. They don't really think it's about anything. They just say, oh, they over there fooling around, making up some crazy shit to talk about, and it doesn't really apply to our lives, right? Well, it applies to mine. I'm pretty sure everybody else on the panel as well, from what I've heard all y'all talking about, right? So it got to a point where I just gave up thinking that a big record company or a big TV company were going to pick up my ideas. I gave up on that. I gave up on, oh, I'm gonna get a Grammy, or I'm gonna get an Oscar, and I'm like, you know what, man, screw this. I'm just gonna go down to the toy store down here and buy my own Oscar and make it that. Or when it comes to my dream that I have in my head, if the big companies aren't listening, well, there's gonna be somebody on my level that has the same connections to some big company that doesn't necessarily believe 100% that big company, but they're like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go underground, I'm going to go out in the field or in the neighborhoods or the ghettos or whatever, and see where the real art is and where the reality is and where the real poetry is at and where the real living is at, and tap into that and make it and manifest it. Once you have it,
I think we don't have a lot of time.
Let's
say something. Yeah, say something. But we want to give the audience a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, I'll be quick, really. I've kind of grown up with the DIY ethos my whole life, and getting into film was just something I always knew I had to be a part of. I had to do it. I had to make my own stuff. I started in the art department, building sets, painting walls, PA, whatever, anything, any job that anyone would give me on set, I took. There was nothing above me, there was nothing below me. I was always just down for whatever, so I could just be on the set, so I could work, so I could make something cool. And then it's, when I got the opportunity to do stuff that I wanted to do, I had consistently surrounded myself with people who were in the same boat. So, keeping that DIY ethos, you got 10 PAs around you, 6 of them want to be writers, the other 4 want to be directors. You just kind of, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Brennan, sorry to interrupt. How much time do we have?
About 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, this is awesome.
Plenty of time.
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, no, it's awesome.
Anything else?
Well, yeah,
What's your name? Sorry.
Take it away, Jeff.
Nice ink.
What's up, Lloyd?
Nice ink.
I'm Jeffro, thank you. So I'm late. I was actually early, but I had to fight a couple of zombies on St. Mark's. It was a verbal battle. I'm going to keep it short. What makes someone successful? 2 things. Passion and punk rock. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. Just do it. If they tell you you can't, that means that gives you more motivation to do it, Yep. And thank you, Angelo, for wearing that outfit tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Toxic Adventure. Your eyes kind of fucked up, but I'll help you with that later.
2 or 3 years ago, James Gunn was on this panel. He said you should do what you're good at. Not what you want to do, but what you're good at. So I'm kind of curious, what do you guys think of that? Because I'm not good at anything, but I'm doing what I want to do. I disagree with James Gunn. James Gunn Gunn worked for Troma, wrote Romeo and Juliet, then went on to do Guardians of the Galaxy. But that's his opinion. That's very interesting. So I'm wondering, what do you guys think about that?
For bumping James Gunn for me. So what are we talking about? Oh, what do you
Do what you're good at, or do what you want to do. He says, do what you're good at. Don't do, if you're not good at it, don't make movies.
I agree. I agree. Because in today's world, like, it's so easy to make a movie, whereas like when you started, it doesn't seem like it was easy. It seems like it took a lot, whereas today it's like if you got a couple people, you've got an iPhone, you can make it. Now, you should make it. Now, whether or not it's any good, the people will decide, right?
Yeah.
On a personal level, I'm good at making fun of people.
We should talk to his second grade teacher.
But yes, do what you're good at and do it all the time. All the time.
Can I just say that if you really want to do something, whether you're good at it or not, you should do it, otherwise you'll never get good at it.
That's true too. I mean,
Because if you want to do something, if you really want to do something and you suck at it, you know, you're not going to get any better by not doing it. You know, so you want to direct films. Everyone's got a camera on their phone now. Just make something. Just go outside and make something. It's gonna suck. Write a song. The first song is gonna suck. I guarantee it. Write another song. Write a third song, a fourth song. Just keep doing stuff. It doesn't matter if you're good at it or not. Sooner or later, you'll find your audience. You'll find your niche. It'll all fall on top of you anyway. And next thing you know, you're good at what you want to do. So fuck that. Only do what you're good at shit. Whatever you want to do.
I would also say there are a lot of different ways to do creative things. Like, honestly, I could never, film something. I could never be a DP. I probably would have sucked as a director. I don't know. I had originally been interested in doing that. But I found in producing, a way to have a creative, practical, and different voices and still make movies. And I feel like I do a lot of what is exciting about filmmaking, and I get to do that. It wasn't what I would have necessarily said, oh, I'm going to be a producer, that's my lifelong dream. No way. And there's a lot that sucks about it. But there are definitely the ways that you can find what you are good at within the world of what you're doing too. It doesn't always have to be the starring thing.
Yeah, I'm on this side of the room with, I don't think you have to do what you're good at. I feel like we live in a world with a division of labor where we're kind of forced into these little niches where most people just spend all day doing the same thing over and over again. You're on a computer or you're making a taco or whatever, and that gets really boring, and maybe you're really good at that, but who wants to do the same thing over and over again? I think if you try stuff that you're not good at but you might be interested in, it just keeps things a lot more interesting. So yeah, be a little risky, but you're not good at it.
I have a question. What is the Toxic Avenger good at?
It's justice.
Yes.
Magic people.
What am I good at? I'm good at ripping limbs. I'm good at making at least one baby. And I'm very good at standing still.
He's also good at defending the little people of Tromaville and supporting the underdogs.
By the way, one thing that this is my 50th year of being in the underground, and one of the things that is shocking, the New York Times, we think that's the paper of record. The New York Times was against letting Jews in during Roosevelt. The New York Times supported interring, putting the Japanese in prison camps. The New York Times editorial against Martin Luther King's beautiful speech at Riverside Chapel, where King pointed out that the Vietnam War was a war to kill young black men. New York Times was against it. That's the New York Times. So whatever they say, don't take it for granted, right? We're hearing a lot about fake news. Some of the media of record, the so-called gray ladies, they're wrong. They're wrong all the time. So do what you believe in. Don't listen to anybody, in my opinion. Except these people. All right, who has questions? The commissioner wants to have questions. Young man.
My question is, well, first off, great panel. I'm currently almost finished doing a documentary about Troma and Lloyd Kaufman. I've already interviewed Lloyd and both Pat. And my question is, do I have your verbal permission to use the footage I filmed earlier of you guys? I filmed you guys earlier doing introductions for the panel, and I was wondering if I have your verbal permission. Sorry, I just don't have enough release forms on me.
Yes. It's like being in the exit row on a plane. You have to verbally say yes.
Thank you.
And by the way, we have a celebrity, Purple Pam. Stand up. Purple Pam has created the hot sauce. The tops of the men's are hot sauce. And she's written music for Troma. It's action from the movie. Purple Pam, ladies and gentlemen. Independent underground hot sauce. The best.
You guys want a book later? More questions?
I got a question. Here I go. My name is Anthony Shabove. I'm from New York.
Anthony.
What's up? Well, before we get into it, wish me luck on Monday with the New York Film Academy.
Good luck. Nice.
And my question is for him and the WWE guy. I've been trying to do a movie, a hip hop album, a book, and trying to get to the wrestling business. My question for him is, how do you make it in the wrestling world? Because I will make my wrestling debut in 2018. And for him, I'm doing a Christian rap song. How to do that?
I follow Anthony on Instagram.
And Facebook.
Anthony Shabbat.
Shabot.
Shabot. C-H-A-B-O-T.
C-H-O.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
It ruins
I should stop.
It ruins my credibility a little bit as an independent person to be known as the WWE guy. But
Hogan rules.
Hogan rules, yeah.
Whether it's more feasible to do like a single film or a many interconnected film, because everyone seems to be doing these sort of large elaborate universes. And that, the Lloyd got the idea of having Toxie and Kabuki Man in the same universe and interacting with each other. He got that from Stan Lee, whose Marvel universe is the basis for the Marvel kind of thing. And it seems like everyone is trying to do kind of longer and more elaborate things where, one's bad internally at all. But then, if they're consistent, then it seems like that novelize the attention. They take more and more time to
I think the question was creating a universe like Marvel, or is that sort of the question?
Is that the way to go?
50 years ago, I searched out Stan Lee. When I graduated from Yale, I found him and I latched on to Stan Lee. We've been friends for 50 years, very much inspired by the Marvel Universe of the 60s. And that's what I tried to do in the underground, but I wanted to be in total control of it. Stan has had problems, I think, controlling his universe. So that's the big difference. I stayed in the underground and did whatever the Tromaville universe is. But that's what I wanted to do. But I don't know if that's what the other panelists would like to do. You have a universe, right? You've got your own universe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of a universe. Kevin started what he calls, his company is called VSQ, the VSQ universe. And it was based on comic books where they create, not just a character, but a character that exists within a world that extends far beyond him. Now, if you're asking, is it easier to make a single movie or just go Marvel style, make this entire universe? Probably easier to make a single movie and see where it goes from there.
I think we're all going to agree on that one.
Also, I have a question. How low is your budget if you can't afford 7 pieces of paper to sign?
This guy is indie, like nobody does.
I've been asking a lot of people at the festival.
We have all the paper you want.
Good question. Yeah, we got one more. Sergeant Kabuki Man says there's one more question. Who would like to ask that final question? Talk loud, please. This gentleman.
This is for Brian.
you ever get Kevin back for that time he poses you in the news?
He did what?
He poses you in the news for the dogma thing.
Did I ever get him back for it? It sounds to me like you're saying posed in the nude.
You posed in the nude with Kevin Smith?
He's protesting dogma.
We were protesting dogma, yeah.
And he poses you, he says he used your name, and they asked you to name his name.
Oh, right. Well, I was with him, actually. Yeah, what we did, people came down on Kevin because of dogma, the Catholicism, you know, people get worked up about religion, it seems. And so he came down to the office one day, I was there, and he was like, hey, you want to go protest dogma? And of course I did. So we went, we made signs, and we mingled with the crowd, and people were like, he wasn't as nearly as well known then, so people are looking at him like, this kind of looks like the guy in the movie. And then eventually somebody on the news was like, wait a second, this is the guy in the movie. I'm grateful to him for including me. I would never want to go back to that.
I'm rolling too.
Okay, so let's do this. Dueling interviews. Hello, everybody. We are outside here at the Tromadance Film Festival, the 18th annual Tromadance Film Festival. So who am I speaking to?
Mr. Kyle Rappaport.
Kyle Rappaport, who is interviewing me, John Brennan, and we're doing dueling interviews. And then, oh my God, look to your left, my right. This is Jimmy.
Hi.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hi.
Jimmy plays Steven Spielberg in a web series called Tromadance, and he's a famous man. So what's up, Kyle? How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel great.
Great. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So how's things going with Troma in Tromaville?
Things in Tromaville are so amazing. We have had the best Troma dance of all time thanks to the people at the People's Improv Theater. The People's Improv Theater here, the Pit. Incredible. Currently, Cut, Shoot, Kill is on. We have Sergeant Kabuki Man inside conducting interviews as we speak. We have so many celebrities inside. It's a menagerie. It's better than the Oscars. You know what I'm saying?
Better than the Oscars. Better than Cannes.
Right. Better than Cannes. Fuck Meryl Streep. Fuck everybody. It's bullshit. They stand up and applaud Roman Polanski, who is a pedophile, and Elia Kazan, who named names at the blacklist. He's a piece of shit, and that's what the Oscars celebrate. But we do not celebrate that here at the Tromadance Film Festival.
And who cares if they hear this?
Hey, who cares if they hear this? It's not like they give a crap. It's not like we give a crap. What's the last Meryl Streep movie that was good? Deer Hunter? Fuck that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Kyle, how many Troma dances have you been to?
Oh, I've been to many. This is probably my fifth Troma dance that year at Troma Dance, and I've been to many of them, and I'm really inspired by Troma films. Lloyd Kaufman's one of my favorite directors. I've been a Troma fan since I was 13 years old.
Amazing, and let's tell the people a little bit about your movie Night of the Vampire, which is currently available on Troma now.
Night of the Vampire. It's about these two. It's directed by my friend Mark Shindemi. It's about two friends get together, have fun, hang out, and they find this Ouija board that brings a spirit into, and it unleashes a spirit into Doug, and turns him into a vampire, and pretty much shit goes from crazy from there.
Shit goes from crazy to nutty. It's amazing. It's the best vampire short of all time, and it's available on Troma now. Don't forget to tell your fans.
I don't want to spoil too much, but I have a fun part in it, and it's nothing amazing, but I thought it was really good. You know, we're making a sequel soon too.
That's right. You heard it here first. Dracula: Day of the Vampire. It's going to be a meta sequel to Night of the Vampire.
Better.
And Lloyd Kaufman's going to be in it. Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. Dracula himself, Zach Amico. And then we're going to try to get as many boobs and penises in as we can, and a lot of blood. It's going to be amazing, and maybe some werewolves.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, raise the roof. All right, before we get going, let's see your best Troma dance. What is your best Troma dance? Come on, Kyle. Cut the rug. Woo! Woo! Yeah, come on, everybody. Give it up for Kyle. Give it up for Kyle. Do the Troma dance. Do the Troma dance. dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. If your friends trauma dance, and if they trauma dance, well, they're trauma friends of mine. We say trauma dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. If his friends trauma dance, and if they trauma dance, well, they're trauma friends of mine. Shake that ass, girl. All right, everybody, come on, give it up for Kyle.
Back in the car now, and we're leaving. I had a fun time at Tromadance 2017. I had a great time with my buddies Zach, Amico, John Brennan, Lloyd Kaufman. It was a fun day, fun night. Lots of traumatic films, fantastic films, and I had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot for watching, for subscribing. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. Definitely check out Troma.com and Tromadance, and see you next year. And I hope you have a fun time watching this, and I'll see y'all later. Alright, peace.